Every time I come on, because I get kind of sensitive, I don't hear that. I start crying and stuff. I get in my feelings, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
I get in my feelings when they come on there. I don't hear that. It's like, I just start crying and stuff. I'm just serious. I ain't like some of these other people up here playing radio. I actually had so I'm a professional. I'm sensitive about my. Thank you. Yeah, all right. University of Louisville best. Easy Ed. All right. That's good. All right. So how we doing on time? We're gonna have to move that light. The light instructs me from figuring out what time it is. Yep, I can see it from there. See what I'm talking about? All right, 5:02. All right. You ready, Mike?
I am.
All right.
The champ is here.
All right, let's go.
The champ is here.
You started off with the countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
Nope, you gotta go ahead. You have to go 3, 2, 1. You have to go ahead and play the champions here and then go 3, 2, 1. And then when you start doing that, that's when I start talking. No, let's do it again. This is good. This is good. We're not live now, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, there we go. This is good. This is good training for you. All right. We live now? All right, so we're going to do it right now. We got Easy Evan from Louisville, Texas. This is his first day on the legal standpoint with Michael J. Todd.
Correct.
And we're going to go ahead and break him in easy with this because, you know, this is a young man who came highly recommended, and we don't break our brothers down. We always lift them up.
Don't want to scar him,
No, we don't want to do that.
Right.
So we ain't going to do that because too many of our brothers have been done like that before. We're not going to add to the list of that.
Right.
So go ahead, brother, go ahead. So what we do is we play the champions here because that fires me up. And then you point to me, and then I go live to them people right there, and it's on. All right, then. Now, let's do it again. All right. Now, got to play it. You got to play the champions here. There you go. Raise it up. There you go.
The champ is
There you
here.
go. All right,
Nobody
now.
Champ is here.
There you go. Now, 3.
The champ is here.
That's right. The champ is here. Loved by many, hated by a few, respected by all, second to none. Second to none. Second to none. Roll that down just a little bit. I want to just say right now, we'd like to thank you for listening in to the Commish Radio Show, which is in concert with Legal Standpoint with Michael J. Todd. All right, what's going on, man?
Hey, trying to make it, Ed. How you doing,
All right.
brother?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
Doing all right.
we had a rough land. I mean,
Evan, go ahead and tone it out. We're out now. Go ahead.
we had a rough takeoff, but we all right.
Oh, we good.
All right. A little turbulence, but we good.
We good. So this is all we doing.
So how you doing today,
Man, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
You know what, man? I know everybody's looking, man. They see how clean you are today,
Oh
man.
man, that's because I'm with clean people.
Is
man.
that what it is?
I'm with clean people, so that's what it is,
you
man.
got your yellow tie on and
That-
everything.
that's
so.
black and gold.
Oh, is
brother.
that black and gold? I
Black
thought it was
and
yellow,
gold.
man.
No, nothing yellow about being an alpha, man.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I'm not Greek, so I don't know what all those
I
colors
mean,
supposed
man,
to represent.
I'm not saying
I just
anything
thought you had a
beyond
sunny disposition today because you had your
sunny disposition.
yeah, because you had your black and gold tie. on,
Black and
man.
gold. That's right. That's right. I just came back from an event. The Freddie James Scholarship would like to send a shout out to all those people from Carter High.
All
you know,
right.
so we're doing it. You know,
Carter.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
doing it. You know.
I know about Carter.
Yeah, no, you know a little something about Carter.
Yeah, a little something.
something.
Little something. You know what, man? I'm tired today, man.
What's up, man?
Man, my wife had me doing a bunch of honeydews around the house, man. I had to clean out the garage. I had to clean the fountain. Man, I was so tired from lifting stuff, man.
Wait a minute, hold on. You don't think you're just gonna slip that one by me right like that? Clean the fountain?
Yeah, the fountain.
The fountain.
Fountain, yeah.
Just like Caesar's Palace, like fountains.
Well,
I mean,
not
like,
that, not that big.
like I have like a, you know, the little thing which you put water in so birds can go ahead.
Yeah,
and get water.
no. It's much bigger than that.
Okay.
But it's not Caesar's Palace. It doesn't shoot up in the air.
I don't know, man.
It kind of comes up from the and they trickles down.
I've been in your house before, man.
Okay.
You know, but normally when I'm at your house, man, I'm normally dressed up, you know, serving people and stuff.
Oh, really? No, I don't remember that, man.
Yeah, tea.
But you know what? I've got an event coming up, and I do need a bartender.
You picked the right person. I know something about drinks, so you know.
Hey, since you said you know serving people,
I can do that.
Oh, you meant serving like serving the community, not serving people.
Never was serving. Saying, what kind of event you got coming up, man?
We're gonna do a fundraiser for Colin Allred on June 1st.
June 1st,
2024.
Okay.
So we're doing a little fundraiser for him, trying to raise some money for him. Allred, as you know, was an NFL player. I think back in 2006 is when he first came out of college, came out of Baylor. And back then, I was actually an NFL agent. And so I was Allred's first agent when he went to the league. So I did his first contract for him.
I like the way you said it when he went to the league. Man.
When he went to the league. So the thing is that we've been in contact pretty much, you know, for the last 10 years or so. And so we're going to do a little fundraise and have a good time.
Yeah, I understand he's running against Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz, yeah. He's running against Ted Cruz. Ted's been in office for quite a while. You know, it's kind of like we have an embarrassment, you know, for our U.S. Senator. At least, well, for both of them, really, but really for Ted. You know, remember, Ted's the one that went to Mexico when we had the big freeze.
Right.
And, you know, he let Trump call his wife ugly, and he didn't have anything to say about it but just be a soft-bellied lap dog for him, you know. So, we just got to get
And
him
then
out.
he also said, Trump also said that Ted Cruz's father.
Oh, yeah, tried to kill JFK.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's down with him the whole way. So how
all the way down.
can he be for Texas and for the citizens of Texas when he's such a lapdog for Trump? I mean, I don't understand that.
I don't understand either.
I don't understand.
So you're gonna raise some money?
Yeah, we're gonna try to raise a little bit for him.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I understand. I'm involved in that a little bit.
Yeah. Actually, we had to make sure that your name was on the digital flyer because that was going to ensure that we got additional contributions.
Well,
everybody wanted to see Ed Graded Commish on the
well,
flyer.
we
you know, you
trying to do what we do.
you like the Pied Piper.
Well, I've seen that happen before. I left the event before to try to sneak in, and people was trying to take pictures with me and everything. And I was like trying to take pictures with the main guy. Yeah. So,
okay. Well,
you know, but hey, that's the deal.
But we'll see if that
it happens with Allred.
Yeah. We'll see. You know, hopefully so.
Yeah. Well, you know, hey.
You know,
but you know, if people want to give to this, how do they go about doing it?
You know what? If they contact, let me give you my office number, which is 214-630-8633. If anybody is interested in contributing, just contact my office and we'll be able to send you the specific link for our event. And then from that standpoint, we'll be able to make sure that those funds are allocated to the Allred event that's being sponsored by.
And that's June 1st. What time does it start?
12:30.
12:30.
It's just a couple of hours.
I know you have a clean fountain.
Yeah, the fountain's gonna be real clean, man.
Okay.
You know, but by that time, you know, all the little the stuff you put in to clear the water, it'll be kind of dissipated, and I put some blue in it and stuff, man. So it'll look real pretty.
Real
man.
pretty.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah. Blue stuff. You know.
Texas blue.
Yeah. You know how it go.
Yeah.
But you know, we were talking about Cruz and you know how he just follows around Trump, and you know, I've really been following this trial that's going up in New York with Trump, and I don't know. Yeah, they might have him.
Do you think so?
They might.
Now, you are a lawyer.
I'm a lawyer.
Evan, you know, this is his first time. You know, this is like a training day.
Right.
Yeah, like training day.
Right,
you know,
right.
like Denzel Washington training day.
I know.
And you know, this is legal standpoint with Michael J. Todd. And
Right.
Michael J. Todd is a lawyer, a criminal lawyer.
Right, do criminal law.
So
and
that's the reason why we have you here to talk about Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
Because Donald J. Trump is a criminal.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give some opinions on how I think the trial is going, but I must admit that I am biased against him because I do believe he's a criminal. You know, I've thought that for even before he took office, and I also think he's probably a criminal and a racist. So those are not things that sit well with me.
Not me as well.
Yeah. So, but the trial, it's been interesting because, in New York, you can't have cameras in the courtroom, even in state court. And so what has happened is that all of the major news services basically have individuals that are in the courtroom that are giving that are supposed to be giving a play-by-play of what's being testified to during the trial. Now, the main person against Trump, of course, is Michael Cohen. And Michael Cohen was his previous fixer, an attorney, worked for him for numerous years. Kind of came off like he was trying to be Roy Cohn, he's a brash guy. He's supposed to be getting stuff done for Trump. But you remember back in 2017, after Trump won, he kind of iced Cohen a little bit. And then Cohen, the police, the FBI started doing search warrants on him, things of that nature. And so he kind of started seeing the light, and he broke from Trump. And he decided that he was going to testify. And if you remember, he got indicted on some cases. He ended up pleading, and he actually went to the penitentiary, to the federal pen. So I believe he got about 36 months. I think he did maybe a little bit over a year, got out for compassion release.
What's compassion release?
Well, during the pandemic, and it's not just during the pandemic, if you're in federal custody, you can apply for what we call a compassionate release. A lot of times it could be a situation where an individual's health is failing, or it could be health failing of an individual that's close to you. And if you're kind of close to the time period of your release, they can file a motion for compassionate release and let you out. It was real prevalent during COVID because people had, a lot of the ailments or the conditions
People
that
were
were
just dying.
susceptible to COVID. And then you also had those individuals that, they were trying to get people out of the penitentiary, who weren't going to be there for long periods of time. So he got compassionate release, things of that nature. But we had this case that was filed in New York by Alvin Bragg, who's the prosecutor there now. And they've had this trial. And it's been a fascinating trial, man, because since Cohen went to jail himself, and it's kind of amazing. You hear this stuff from the Trump people. Well, you can't trust Michael Cohen because he's a criminal. He's been convicted. He's lied. He's been convicted of perjury to Congress. You can't believe anything he says. But as a criminal lawyer, I've seen a lot of these cases where you have these individuals that are, that used to be involved in the gang, that come in the game and then come in and testify. And a lot of times, I would say usually 7 out of 10 times, juries find those individuals to be credible. This is my thing. They say you can't trust him because he lied to Congress. But if you remember, he was lying to Congress
For the person.
for Donald Trump.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
They say, well, he was doing X, Y, and Z. He was doing it for Trump.
Right.
He was paying off Stormy Daniels for Trump. So the question is, how can they undermine his testimony? Okay? The flip coronary is, how can the prosecution support what he's been saying? And I think they've been doing a good job because they have brought in other individuals that he has interacted with as he was doing, the bidding for Trump. They brought in the attorney that he negotiated with for Stormy Daniels. They brought in the individual that worked at the Inquirer. The National Enquirer was kind of the vehicle that they were using to acquire these stories and then do what we call catch and kill, meaning that they would not run the story. Mm-hmm. They've brought in individuals from the Trump organization as far as the accounting that was ongoing, and then they have also brought in individuals from the bank that Cohen got the money from. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to corroborate everything that Cohen has talked to them about. Now, and I think they've been really doing a good job. So that's why I'm a little hopeful. I'm really hopeful with respect to this jury verdict.
How soon you think the jury verdict will happen?
Well, the state, it looks like that the state is going to be resting on Monday.
Wow.
You know, and if they rest, then of course Donald Trump has an absolute right to present a defense himself. And you know, if he calls witnesses on his behalf, he could call individuals from the Trump organization or whatever. And of course, he could testify himself. You know, I remember back when Hillary Clinton, he was running against Hillary Clinton, and you know, people were talking about Hillary Clinton taking the fifth and all that kind of stuff. And you remember Trump was going on about, only guilty people take the fifth. Only people who've done something don't want to come in and talk. And now we've got him sitting there in a trial, and I don't think he's going to testify.
Well, if he testifies, he's just going to run his mouth, and it's going to be bad, though.
Well, yeah. Well, that is true. He's going to run his mouth. But then he would also probably open himself up for a lot of different subject matter. Because, like you say, he runs his mouth, so he's not going to be able to just stay on course with respect to
You're going to keep talking about stuff that really don't matter, and they go, oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Right. And so from that standpoint. And so the whole trial, man, it's been pretty fascinating. But they did have one issue that came up last week when they were cross-examining Cohen. And there's one issue, it kind of bothers me a little bit, but not a lot, because I think that the prosecution has still supported the things that he has said. But he had testified that, hey, look, I had to call Trump and let Trump know everything what was going on with the Stormy Daniels situation. With the Stormy Daniels situation. And so he says that, hey, look, I had this call, and I had this call at 12:34, and I called Keith Schiller, who was Trump's right-hand man, and I talked to Trump, and I told him that everything was moving forward. Well, they found some text messages that were between Cohen and Schiller right before this call. And those text messages were dealing with some kid that had been harassing Cohen and his family and this, that, and the other. And Schiller had said, just call me. And so now the defense was able to raise the whole issue of, you said this call was about, talking to Trump to confirm the Stormy Daniels deal. But when we look at what you were talking about with Schiller, who you going through to get to Trump, you talking about the individual for the harassment. And so it seemed to be there was some issue with respect to whether Cohen was able to adequately, outline what he had been talking about.
And so why does that bother you?
Well, it bothers me because the fact that he's saying that these calls were made are important because they're actually connecting Trump to the illegal activity. And so from that standpoint, when you have a call like that being subject to maybe, being undermined, a jury could kind of look at that and may just kind of run off with it, Now, they've got other things. Other things being Trump was signing all of the checks himself. Because what you have to remember about this, I know we're coming up on a break, but what we have to remember is that this is a documents case. The fact that they paid off Stormy Daniels was not a crime. And what do they always say? It ain't the crime, it's the cover-up that always gets you.
So this is the cover-up.
The cover-up is the crime.
So it's not the fact that he paid money to a porn actress that he had sex with.
Right. That's not it.
I just want to tell America this is not what we're talking about.
Right. That's not it.
He paid money to the porn actress person.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
We don't care about that.
Right.
It's the cover-up. And when we come back, we'll talk more about the cover-up. Evan, let's go to a break.
Hi, my name is Gail Todd with Townview Realtors. If you find yourself in the market to buy, sell, lease, or maybe you want to be a part of this hot real estate market by investing, just give my team of professionals and I a call at 214-675-9572. Again, that's 214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com. yahoo.com. With me, it's all about you.
No, you gotta do 4.
Hi, this is Howard Scott from The Howard Scott Show, coming to you from beautiful Arlington, Texas on Fishbowl Radio. You can catch me every Wednesday from 6 to 7, and we play all this war music, and you get to hear some of the songs that I wrote when I was in the band War, how I created the songs, the stories behind it, and we start off with the blues. You have a good time talking to me, so tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 7 and catch The Howard Scott Show. We're having a whole lot of fun on Fishbowl Radio.
Jump in.
Who was that masked man? You mean you don't know? That was no masked man. That was the Commish. Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio Network. Hey, you know, whenever I want good Cajun food, I go to Thibodeau's, located at 107 North Cedar Ridge in Duncanville, Texas. They're really hot, just like the Commish Radio Show in Thibodeau's. Hot as this gumbo. We will see you later at Thibodeau's.
Right, back again. You know, when I leave here, I'm going to Thibodeau's. You know,
You going to Thibodeau's
I'm
today?
going to Thibodeau's. I'm gonna have
Alright.
to go to Thibodeau's. You know, after
You gonna give me some gumbo while you're there, man?
I can get some gumbo. I always
Okay.
get gumbo, man. I always do that because you know it's like a hot stew, man. You know,
Oh,
gumbo's
really?
like a hot stew, sort of like what Donald Trump is in. He's in like a hot stew.
Oh yeah, he is with the cover up.
With the cover.
With the
up.
cover up.
Now we're good at this. Right?
Yeah, I
See
know,
how
I
we
know,
roll that
I
in there
know.
just like that. See?
Now the thing is this with the cover up.
Yeah.
And this is what everybody has to understand. Because I've had a lot of friends, you know, they say, "Oh man, he just paid off the girl." I mean, I can understand that. Everybody.
Because we always talk about our shows like we ain't like two brothers from the hood just
Right,
talking.
right.
We have degrees behind
Right,
our talk.
Right.
So,
And
so the boys was talking about, hey,
Right, man. Yeah, come on, man. He just paid off the girl, man. What difference does that make?
What difference
man?
does that make?
Yeah, but that's not what the crime is.
Not the crime.
So the fact of the matter is that the campaign was concerned about the Stormy Daniels story coming out because this was right after the Access Hollywood tape where he said I can just grab women by the whatever. Okay. And so they were thinking, they being the campaign, the Trump campaign, they were concerned that if the Stormy Daniels allegation came out, that would really crater his support with women. So when they paid the $130,000 to her, if he had just paid the money himself, it would have been fine. No deal at all. But they didn't just pay it themselves. He had Cohen do it,
I
right?
wonder why he had him do that.
Well, he had him do that because they were trying to not tie it back to
To
Trump,
him.
right? Because they didn't want that to come out that he had paid her. Now, if he had just given Cohen the $130,000 back, he still may have been okay.
Ah.
But he didn't just give him the $130,000. Say, hey, look, you put this up, so I'm just
Yeah, I'm
giving
gonna
it
give
back.
you the money back.
Right.
Yeah. So what he do?
What he did is they said, well, rather than just giving you $130, so nobody will know what we just did, right? We're going to say that it's actually legal fees that we're a legal retainer that we're paying you. And we're going to be giving it to you monthly. We're going to be giving it to you so it looks like that. And of course, Cohen was like, well, hey, look, if you just give me $130,000 and make it look like, it's income, I got to pay the taxes on it. So they were like, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to double it. So rather than $130, it's going to be $260. Then he said, well, I paid off somebody before for 50 G's. And y'all hadn't paid me back on that. And they were like, okay, we're going to give you that $50,000 and we're going to double that too. So now that $260 is now $360. You see what I'm saying? And then they said, and he was like, well, I had a little bonus, man. I did a lot of work for you. And they said, okay, we're going to give you the extra $60,000.
Oh, well, he's just negotiating now.
So he paid $130 and he got $420,000 back. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you got to remember the reason he paid the $130 was to help the campaign. So that $130 should have really been reflected as a political contribution. but it wasn't. So they tried to make it seem as if it was a retainer fee. So what they did, that $420,000, he would send a bill every month for $35,000, and they would pay it. And the bill would say legal retainer, right? And so they would pay it. So they each one of those checks, the bill that went over, that was one, because it said for legal services. Wasn't no legal service. That was one fraud. The second fraud was when the check went out, it said for legal services. Second fraud. And then the Trump organization was entering these in their general ledgers as legal service payments. But it really wasn't. It was for what? It was to repay the $130,000 to that benefited the campaign. So each check that was written, there are 3 counts for each check. And he got paid for 12 months, so that's 36 counts.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't the fact that he paid the porn star. It was that how he tried to cover up the payment to the porn star.
So he should have just, why you keep, if this lady wants to be a porn star, I object to that, sir. If this lady wants to be a porn star, let her have that job. And quit calling it that, because it's not about the former president of the United States paying off a porn star. Let's be correct.
Yeah, it's not about that.
It's not about paying
was,
off a porn star.
He was just lying.
He's lying about paying off a porn star.
He was lying about paying off the porn star.
I don't know how many times I could try to degrade this conversation by saying porn star, but I will keep trying till you guys realize that this is bad business when America has to decide whether or not they're going to vote for a man who's fraudulent, who pays off porn stars, that you said that if he just paid her off out of his own pocket,
right,
it would have been cool.
You know what? He could have just, he's supposed to be a billionaire. He could have just tore off $130,000 and just gave it to him. Yeah, but he didn't want it to trace back to him.
And then, is it true that Cohen took a home equity loan out?
Yeah, he took a home equity loan. And see, those were some of the people. And
we got evidence over there going like,
and those were some of the people that came and testified, because he came in, he had to construct a shell company, which he did. And then,
all right, for the people at home that just tuned in, what is a shell company?
Well, a shell company is a company that's not actually doing business, but it's a legal entity that you use to protect other companies or other individuals from liability.
That sounds like fraud.
No.
Shell company.
No.
That's just what it is?
Yeah, shell companies are fine. Everybody does shell company, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doing business as.
Yeah, doing business as.
Okay.
You know, that way, they can't get to you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm protected.
Yeah, you protected. So no, that's not fraud. That's not fraud.
Okay, so that's not fraud.
That's not fraud. But they did allege that when Cohen was now, this wasn't a part of Trump's indictment, right? But Cohen did lie to what the purpose of the shell company was for, to the individuals who gave him the line of credit. Because, he said, well, hey, man, I don't think they would have gave me the money if I went in and said, I'm doing this to pay off the porn star. So.
There you go. I have to warn you, counselor.
Well, I don't see it. Well, what's wrong with me saying a porn star?
There you go. You said it again. So I'm doing you the same way the judge does Trump when he tells him to, be quiet and all that, don't say stuff.
But I'm saying, what's wrong with saying a porn star? Oh, should I say the alleged porn star?
No, it's nothing alleged
about
it.
Yeah, I'm going to say she is a porn
She's
star.
A porn star. Nothing alleged about it.
Yeah,
it's not alleged. Stormy Daniels.
Stormy, yeah.
Okay. Stormy weather.
Hey, you heard what Biden said.
Biden said he'll debate him because he understands that,
you got Wednesdays
free.
But at the correspondence dinner, he said, "Yeah, I understand he's having some stormy weather."
Stormy weather. Yeah. Stormy weather.
So I like. So what do you mentioned the debate? What you think about that, man? What do you think about Biden's coming out? Trump has been trolling him like, he won't debate me. He won't debate me. And then Biden comes up and just says, "Hey, man,
I think that was a
I'm
good
ready to
move.
roll.
I think that's a good move. I also think it's a good move that it won't be an audience, man. It'll just be him
Right.
and Trump in one room. It's like he can't like follow him around like he did Hillary Clinton and everything, standing over and all that kind
Right.
of stuff. You know.
Well, you know what? I don't know about the. You know, I would think that it would be maybe not. I mean, we don't need no Super Bowl, audience, but I would like to have some kind of audience as long as each side gets an equal number of people.
Yeah, but I just don't like to give this guy all that, man, because he started like he's like a kid.
Yeah, I know. So the thing is, if he had a little audience, maybe he's gonna start acting like a fool.
Well, he's gonna act like a fool anyway.
But I'm saying, I don't know. I just think that some type of audience needs to be there.
He's gonna act a fool anyway.
You think so?
Yeah, it's in his blood.
Yeah,
Man, it's in his blood. It's in his nature. to
Yeah,
do
but that's
that.
true. That's true.
It's his
That's
nature.
true.
You know?
Yeah, so I mean that was a little aside, but I thought, and I like the fact that they're having the first debate next month, June.
Real soon. Real soon.
And I really think that's important because I think Biden needs to be able to show or to answer these questions that individuals have had, like he's just walking around comatose or something.
Well, gotta do something. Gotta do something.
Why'd you hesitate like that,
Man,
man?
look, I want to keep it on Trump. I don't like Trump, and I want to keep it on Trump because this is really, really sad. I mean, because I'm gonna be straight up. Now, Biden is not the most exciting person in the world,
No, he's not.
and then you got RFK Jr. saying he had worms in his head.
You know what? And they,
I don't know.
And they talk about Biden.
This is not good.
If you listen to RFK, I'm like,
Look here.
I can barely understand that man.
Look here, man. You had me like I was on a witness stand because you asked me and said, "What do you mean by that?" I was like, "I'll tell." That was it.
Yeah, no, I can't
I
understand
don't
the
understand.
RFK.
I don't understand. Worms in the head.
Yeah,
that should
yeah,
disqualify
worms in
you
his
for
head.
president.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think so.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Well, you know what? Speaking of worms in the head, I
Worms
think
in the head.
I think Abbott might have worms in his head too, man.
Greg Abbott
Greg Abbott.
is one of the most. Hey, Evan, we're not going to do a commercial on the last one. We're just going to keep it rolling on this one, man, because the worms in the head just threw me for a second. Because we're getting ready to talk about Greg Abbott, and we want to make sure that we get all this in, man. Because we want to make sure that everyone at home they understand that we have one of the most racist governors.
Yeah.
Straight up racist, man.
Right. Yeah.
And and what really irritates me is that when people, white people, just say it what it is. When white people say, "You don't know what's in his heart, Ed," I don't need to know what's in his heart.
Yeah, you don't need. You can look at his actions.
I look at his actions.
Right.
If someone sits there and throws rocks at me every day when I'm walking home from school, which used to happen when I was at a Dale Turner, they throw rocks and all kinds of stuff, and I would say, well, these are some racist white boys from Carter High School that are doing this.
Right.
I didn't need to say, I don't know what's in their heart. All I
Right.
had to do is just dodge the rocks in the Jack in the Box
Right.
shakes they were throwing.
Right.
And that's what it was.
They were throwing stuff at you like that?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna head it over my friend Vance Miller's house.
Oh,
man.
really?
Yeah, they used to
My
do
man
that.
V.
Yeah. So they used to do that, man. I can spot it right now on Polk Street right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Still got a milkshake stain on
Still
it. Really?
milkshake thing from where I died. Yeah, there it is, right there. So yeah, but that's what it is with Greg Abbott. He's
Yeah.
been steady throwing milkshakes at us.
Right, yeah. And this thing this past week, man, was just, it was just a blow. He pardoned Daniel Perry.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Perry, if you remember, was a insurrectionist who was down in Austin, and it was, I think, what was it, 2021? And doing a Black Lives Matter protest, he comes into contact with a white guy who's at the Black Lives Matter protest, who actually had a rifle. And of course, in Texas, anybody can walk around with a rifle as long as you're not on paper. Now, if you're on paper, then you shouldn't be walking around with a rifle. But you can walk around with a rifle, a shotgun, anything. You don't need any license for that in Texas. because the rationale is that a shotgun is readily apparent. You can see it. And so anyone who comes into contact with you can appreciate the danger as it relates to the firearm. So this gentleman had a firearm. There was a version of the facts that said that Daniel Perry drove into a group of individuals in his car, that there was some confrontation between he and the person that was killed, which was a guy named Garrett Foster, white guy, who was a Air Force veteran, and that during this confrontation, Daniel Perry shot and killed the Garrett young man. Now, the issue was they went to trial because, of course, Daniel Perry raised self-defense, that the other guy upped on me first. You know, I had to say it like one of my clients would say it, man. He upped on me, man.
Upped on you.
Upped on me, you know.
Okay.
You ever heard that, man?
No, but I'm gonna use that later on today.
Yeah. That's what my clients
Yeah,
say, man.
yeah.
He
Upped
upped.
on
He
me.
upped
Upped
on me,
me.
man. He upped on me.
Yeah.
All right, so,
Do I have to like sound like angry when I do this?
Yeah. It's usually said with some excitement, like an excited utterance, you know. He upped on me, man. You know.
Evan, see, you didn't know it was gonna be this kind of show, did Evan was nervous, but I think he kind of liked the show.
Right.
He upped on me.
Yeah, he upped on me.
Evan, you ever upped on anybody, man?
No, I can't say that I'm up to anybody.
Okay, all right.
But you know what that means,
You,
though, right?
you know what it means.
Right,
He knew
right,
exactly
right.
what it
Oh,
meant.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Young folks, that's what they say.
He said to me, old school didn't know what that meant.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah,
the
okay,
whole
go
issue.
ahead.
Now, the fact of the matter is this, though. They had a trial down in Austin. It was a murder trial, and the jury heard both versions of what had occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a determination that this Perry guy was guilty. Guilty. Now, he got
A
convicted
jury trial of his peers.
of his peers.
There you go.
12 individuals that were citizens of Texas that lived in the same county as he. And they listened to the evidence and they found him guilty. Now, while this is all going on, you know, Sean Hannity has gotten involved and all the little national hard right conservative folks, right? And they start saying, oh, he got convicted. This is crazy. Because, you know, what is it? Somebody got killed at the Black Lives Matter at the protest. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, the other person must have been wrong, you know,
Because it's Black Lives Matter.
because it's Black Lives Matter. And so Abbott comes out.
Same difference. Trump,
Right.
Abbott, whatever.
He comes out. Let me remind you. The guy got convicted, right?
Convicted.
The next day, Abbott comes out and says that he's going to pardon the boy.
Wait a minute. The next day.
The next day.
So
Now
they haven't had time to file it.
Wait a minute. What you mean, file the appeal?
File it? No, just put the papers like you.
No.
Sit there and you go, okay, put that over there.
No.
That's it.
No, listen to me, Ed, because I said that way for a reason.
What you got?
I said the next day, Abbott said he was going to pardon the boy, right? The jury hadn't even made a determination yet for punishment.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
See, in Texas,
I did that for dramatic effect, people.
in Texas, a trial is what we call a bifurcated event.
Right, it's two.
It's two.
Bifurcation.
Bi means two. Yeah.
Bifurcation.
All right. The first aspect of the bifurcation is guilt, innocence. The jury is charged to make a determination of whether an individual is guilty or not. If a jury finds an individual guilty,
Then
the second task that they would have is that they determine the punishment for that individual. He was found guilty,
which was the
first part. That night, next morning, Abbott says, I'm going to pardon him, right? The jury
hadn't even
started on the second part, which was punishment.
Which in fact means that the trial,
was still ongoing. And so what happens is that the jury trial goes on for 2 or 3 more days After Abbott has said that he's going to pardon
It
the
don't
boy.
matter what y'all gonna do.
Yeah, well, don't matter what y'all going to do.
I have not seen anything like that, counselor, since Judge William Hawley Atwell did that in the 1950s on a trial regarding outlawing the NAACP. He did the exact same thing.
Really? Okay, well, you just taught me something. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
hey.
William Hawley Atwell.
Yep. Yes,
That's
sir.
that's the middle school you went to.
Correct. That's now named Judge Lewis Bedford.
Right. So it sounds like we needed to change the name of that one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I supported it, because of that reason.
Yeah.
But now that's the reason why I don't support Governor Greg Abbott. You know, they were going to make him the Grand Marshal of the MLK parade back in 2020 or something like that. I guess now they have to make him the Grand Kleagle of the
Right.
Texas KKK.
Right. So the thing is this: the jury ends up and gives the guy 25 years.
25 years.
They heard both versions, found him guilty, give him 25 years. Abbott allegedly has the Pardon and Parole Board review this. And they have, now the boy did stay in jail for a year, but they now have come out and they say that the progressive prosecutor in Austin overstepped his bounds. He did not allow for the stand your ground defense to be, to be developed appropriately. All of this stuff, right? And they go through all of this investigation that this Pardon and Parole Board allegedly did, right? So I was like, you know what? I want to read that report, right? I want to see exactly what they're saying. And so I found, I could only find one thing on the internet, and it said Parole Board, report. And I pulled it up, and it was 3 paragraphs long. And it just said, we recommended that he be pardoned. It says the members of the board and parole delved into the intricacies of the case. The investigative efforts encompassed a meticulous review of pertinent documents, from police reports to court records, witness statements, and interviews with individuals linked to the case. And we unanimously voted to recommend a full pardon and restoration of firearm rights.
So they're going to get his boy his gun back.
He got his gun back and everything. Just walk around. Now, you know me, Ed. I'm not going to just stop, because I said earlier that this guy was an insurrectionist. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And I didn't sit in on the trial or anything, so I didn't know. But the Austin, which is Travis County, the Travis County DA's office, they filed what we call a notice of intent to introduce extraneous conduct. And extraneous conduct is things that you may have done bad. They could be criminal offenses. They could be other acts that were bad, right? That didn't rise to the level of being a crime, right? And so what they're usually doing is that they're trying to use these extraneous acts to prove or to help prove some element of the offense, such as what a person's mental state would be, all right? And so they submitted a 82-page notice of extraneous offenses. And man, this guy is, number one, he wanted to kill somebody, right? Because it says here they went through and they looked at his cell phone, they looked at his text messages, the stuff he said, and dude, it is really racist.
What do you say?
There was a picture of mine of a little girl, and she had her parents in this picture had her head underneath the water like they were waterboarding her, right? And underneath it, it says, this is what happens when your daughter's first crush is a Negro boy. You hear what I said?
Mm-hmm. But he did shoot a white man, right?
Yeah, he did shoot a white man.
See, he's not racist. Not racist.
If it had been black man, he was racist.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what?
Yeah.
But the white man was with a black woman.
Ah, and he was
At the
a
Black
Lives Matter.
Yeah, yeah.
So that made him a what lover?
Oh.
Ah,
yeah,
yep. Yeah, see, so that is what happened.
Yeah.
Because I'm connecting what you just said, counselor.
Yeah.
The waterboarding.
Yeah.
He was with a black woman.
Right.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Hey.
Substantial. I mean, purely substantial.
Here's another one. He had a text that said, "White people can't dance, LOL. White people, okay, but if I call you a cotton-picking N-word, then I'm the racist one. Racism works both ways. Pull your pants up if you don't want cops killing you." That's the kind of mindset he had.
That's the mindset he has.
Oh, and he had all of these deals in here where this was a conversation that he had, and I don't know who Enchantress is. Maybe it's some girl he had. She says, "You want to hang up on me? I would not answer your calls again." You know, she says, he says, I am done. And then she says, "Fine, this is a breakup." He says, "You were being mean to the point of actually pissing me off." She says, "You started being racist first. You said then he says, "You said my face looked like mashed potatoes," right? She says, "Calling someone a mashed potato isn't racist. You actually started calling me racist names." Then she says, "You wanted to hurt my feelings. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said those names. After you started being racist, so did I. You shared," this is her talking, you shared to be racist, and until you apologize, we are breaking up." Then I listen to her. So I'm trying to figure out, was she a sister or what? I don't know what the deal was. Then he says, "Look, I don't want to lose you. but you calling me mashed potato is where I draw the line."
Got me wondering to know what he really looks like. Mashed potato.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I mean, I look through here, and I mean, it's 80 pages of just racist stuff and talking about shooting folks.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, he
now talking about shooting folks now is definitely wrong, whether or not it's black or white. Period.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? And I've said this numerous times here. I'm a strong believer in us as black folks being armed,
right?
Especially with what's going on in this day and time, right? And there were a lot of times.
Why you want us to be armed when if we're at our house, we can't use it even at our house?
What you mean we can't use it at your house?
Man, if someone knocks on the wrong house, you have a gun in your hand,
right?
Like Tatiana Jefferson,
right?
Or the
young man this last week, the 23-year-old,
and you get shot and killed.
Yeah, well, I guess my whole thing would be I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6, man. Yeah, so if you ain't got one, then
hey, you gotta get one.
You know it. If you got one, at least it's a gunfight.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, it's a shooting.
Yeah. Well, we're about to. We're up right up on where we need to be at. I think that could be one of our last couple of words. Hey, you got any closing deals?
Yeah. Hey, we've got to make sure that we get out and vote. And you know what? Especially with the young folks, man.
People like Evan.
Yeah, like Evan.
Sure Evan to vote.
I'm reading.
Hey, you registered to vote, brother? Oh man. Okay, wait. Hold on. This is where we break. It's like him calling me mashed potatoes.
Right. Come on, man. Everybody got to vote, man.
Got to vote, brother.
All right, man. I'm gonna have to vote.
Now we're gonna have you.
You got to register first.
You registered?
Last election. This one I haven't.
But you didn't vote last election?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, you did. Okay.
You got to register to vote.
What? Wait a minute. If he's registered, then he doesn't have to register again.
I know,
need to vote.
We need him to vote.
Yeah.
I mean, and that gives us we're going to be talking about next time around. Let's talk about young people, man. Why they not wanting to vote? That'd be a good deal, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
You brought that up. That's good, man. You good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. You're going to damn. Yeah. All right, go ahead. We close out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, hey, you know how it is, Ed. We've got to make sure that we're doing the right thing. We got to make sure that we're supporting people that support us. No matter where those individuals are, let's not get focused in on, why am I going to give some money to Joe Smith in Massachusetts? Well, if Joe Smith is advocating for our position, no matter where he is, then that's who we need to support. We have to think nationally and globally as it relates to what our interests are.
Yep.
And so that's what we got to do.
And shout out to Jasmine Crockett, Representative Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, without a
who's
doubt.
carrying out what you just said when she upped on
She
Marjorie Taylor
yeah,
Greene.
she definitely upped on it. She needed
so
to,
we
didn't
did
she?
that. So, we're about to go on out. Last word on
That's
you?
it. That's it. Hey.
All right. I thank you for tuning in to the Commish Radio Show and
Legal Standpoint with Michael J. Todd.
all right. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you again. All right.
All right. Hey, appreciate everybody on Facebook.